Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
You're listening to the Chronicles of Livin podcast.
Do the damn thing.
Where we talk to visionary dreamers like you about living their best life.
Fulfill the highest, truest expression of yourself.
It's time to step into the past, present, and future with an open and healthy mind. Let's go! Now let's talk.
Greetings, 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 my visionary dreamers. How is everybody doing on Let's Talk Sunday? This is ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And you are tuned into Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know, it's extraordinary folk over here doing the damn thing the best way we can. And to my newcomers, welcome, welcome, welcome. Your first time here, your first rodeo with ADionne, your dream pusher, and Chronicles of Livin. Man, it's just all talk. It's all conversation. My veterans, y'all know y'all always welcome. I love you guys for always coming back and supporting. Throughout all of these years, 8, 9, I guess now, going on 9. So, to the newcomers, I just want to let you know this show is just a true raw talk show, and what you're going to get out of it is what you are open to get out of it. Let's say it that way. I just come on here. I let Spirit use me to speak through me to us. Okay. And the format is I talk a little bit about the topic. I'll go into maybe a offer or shout out a business and pull one of my cards that I created and then do a light mindset meditation for the rest of the week. And that is the show. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to get on with the topic of today. Today's topic is leave the baggage behind you. Let me say that again for some folk, for the folk over there in the left. Leave the baggage behind you. I think I need to say that for the folk on the right side. Leave the baggage behind you. And you know, as I'm saying this title, you know what comes to mind? Erica, if anybody knows Erica Badu's song, Bag Lady, you gon', I don't know, hurt yourself or something, carrying all that stuff like that, or something like that. I'm messing up the song. I'm starting to sound like my grandma. She used to jack songs up. So I love you, Grandma. But basically, what she's saying in that song is, in summary, that, you know, you go through things in life and then you carry it along with you. Like, for example, okay, I'm going to tell you how I came up with this title. I was sitting there and I was like, okay, Spirit, what are we talking about today? Because this is another pre-recorded and it will be live real soon, but I'm doing, you know, a whole lot of things right now. And so I want to get these projects done and I still want to get you the show as well. So this is why I'm doing this pre-recorded, but maybe in a couple more weeks I'll be live. Okay. So, I was sitting there and I'm like, well, what am I going to do the show about today? Because right in this moment, like, I feel so free in my life. And normally, I talk about a lot of things that has to do with our identity, how we show up in the world, loving ourselves and things of that nature. So I was like, I'm kind of like empty in a good way, right? In a very, very, very good way. And maybe that's why Spirit gave me this title, because I decided to leave the baggage behind me. I have decided to leave the baggage behind me a long time ago. Yet, as you go through life, you accumulate more baggage. What is baggage? Baggage is wrong mindsets, wrong thoughts, not setting boundaries, not loving yourself because of your outside world, because of the outside world view of things, because of things that have been said to you along your path, because of, things that's embedded in your subconscious from childhood. It can be so many things that come from, old relationships, and every time I say relationships, I don't just mean intimate relationships. I mean friendships with family, with mother, father, all of that, siblings, cousins, aunties, all of that stuff, right? Because every person in your life has their own baggage. And that's really crazy, but it's true. I don't care how much money you have. We are seeing that. It seems like the people with the most money got the most baggage. It's like unfolding in front of our eyes on the TV, on social media. We're seeing all of these, high profile people baggage just bust open and leak out all over the place, right? Can you imagine that? They're like carrying this big bag, this big trash bag they've been carrying all along their life while they've been showing up as this high profile person, and this person that is they looked up to, or sometimes feared, or people are intimidated by, and yet they've been carrying this big old trash bag along with them throughout their life with all of this stuff that they have accumulated, all of these things that they have done to people, all of these things that they have done to themselves, right? And then all of a sudden, I just want you to visualize this. Like, just pick somebody that's just really, really high profile that you have just heard about, or somebody that, you looked up to and you've heard something about that is really the baggage just started leaking. So picture them for one moment. I'm doing this for a reason. Picture them not to pick on the person. Okay. This is not to pick on the person, because I don't judge nobody. Listen, I got my own stuff. Okay. Yet I want you to visualize this for a reason, and I'll tell you why after. So visualize someone that you heard about that had a lot of baggage that just bust open, and now the whole world just is viewing it in real time, right? Picture them holding a whole trash bag, and you just come outside and all of a sudden you see them walking past you with that big old trash bag. And I don't know why Spirit, you funny. I don't know why Spirit just showed me this, but picture them walking with the trash bag, right? And as they're walking, you just come outside your door, and as they're walking across your pavement or whatever, all of a sudden this little barky dog just comes behind them. They smell something in this trash bag, and all of a sudden they're running behind this person, and then all of a sudden they're running with their trash bag, right? And the dog somehow jumps up on the trash bags and rips it apart with his mouth, and the trash just falls all over the place. And I want you to picture the whole neighborhood hearing this, and all of a sudden everybody just come outside their door, and the person is just standing there looking at all the trash all over the place in this nice suit, this nice real expensive suit, nice shoes, just nice watch, all of this, right? But the whole neighborhood just came out, and they're like, oh my gosh, isn't that such and such? And then the person with the dog is like trying to get their dog and the dog is just eating the trash, you know what I mean? So now this person is fully exposed. It's like there's nothing else you can do at this moment. And now your move at this moment better be your best move. Your next move better be your best move, because now everybody sees your garbage that you've been stuffing in a bag, hiding from everybody, right? And I use that for an analogy for you that is listening right now. There are things in your life that I can almost guarantee that you have been stuffing. I don't care if it's one thing. Nobody is exempt to having any type of baggage. And it don't have to be big. You know what I mean? It don't have to be, I don't want to say the graphic stuff that we found out, but it don't have to be graphic or just horrific or violent. It don't have to be that. But it can be something as small as a thought that you have been rehearsing in your mind over and over again because of that one relationship that you had, that you might have liked this person so much, and they may have left you or cheated on you, and they said to you before they left, like, you know, I never liked you anyway, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not handsome enough, or your breath stink. I don't know. I don't know, spirit playing today. But anything, any one of those can be devastating depending on the individual, right? Depending on the individual, just from that one person can affect you. And you can carry it along to your next relationship, or maybe not be open to relationships because of the effect of the words that person spoke to you, right? That's baggage. You're not leaving the baggage behind. You're not leaving behind the fact that was one person and that was what they thought, or maybe what they said, just to, you know what I mean, cover up the fact that how they jacked up. And majority of the time, anytime people say something negative to you, it's their own baggage that they're leaking out on you, that they're projecting on you. That's how they feel about themselves. They feel like garbage. When anybody says negative stuff about you and they know it's not true, people lie on you and they know it's not true. You know what I mean? People try to defame your name and they know it's not true. That is their own baggage that they are leaking out on you, that they are trying to cover up and hide in their bag, and they don't want nobody else to see their trash. That's what's going on. That is what's going on. So I'm here to tell you that today I want you to get y'all know I like to give out homework. So get your little piece of paper or maybe a whole book. And I want you to take time out for you and write out. I want at the top, baggage. No, matter of fact, trash. I want you to write trash at the top of the page. I want you to date it. And I want you to start, just sit with yourself for a minute and ask yourself, okay, what is it that I consider trash? Meaning, what is a thought that I have that really came from someone else that I am no longer with, or I'm no longer around, or even if it is, and this is sad to say, you know, sometimes it starts in childhood from teachers and from parents and from guardians, because the guardians, the parents, the teacher might leak out their trash on you. And sometimes they can come off and say, oh, say you when you were young, you wanted to be an artist, right? And you used to dibble dabble and used to draw it, not dibble dabble, but you was drawing action figures all the time. And, you know, some of your really cool friends would be like, yo, that's cool. That's cool. They'd be bigging you up. And then a teacher, because they might have had a bad day for that day, came in, caught you drawing your art and stuff and was like, put that junk away. Or, you know what I mean? Called it something, and that stuck with you. And that stuck with you to the point that you gave up your artwork all together. You just stopped. The teacher, because the teacher is a person of authority. The teacher is a person that we are supposed to look to for guidance, right? Unfortunately, especially nowadays, because I used to go into the schools and the Boys and Girls Clubs and YMCA and teach kids. And what I noticed was that whole adults, I wanted to just take them and put them in a corner. It was pitiful. Some of the schools that I went to teach entrepreneurship and meditation and web design, and my heart would go out to these kids because I'm like, these are kids. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I was at this one school teaching kids entrepreneurship and to build their own website. And I taught in this particular school, actually it was like 3 different schools in the area that I went into. They were elementary schools. So I taught from, I think it was like 1st grade to 5th grade, right? There was this one kid, I'll never forget him. This was about 4th grade. And I'm teaching and everybody's, with their computers. And I noticed that every time I would go past him, he's just staring at the computer, right? And so after a while, I just sat with him. I just pulled up a chair and sat with him. I said, hey, what's going on, And he was like, I can't read. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, you should have told me that. Then I could have, helped you a little bit better, right? This boy started crying. He started crying. I never forget that little boy. He started crying and I got him together. And then I was like, look, I said, it's okay. I said, how about this? How about I'm going to give you something to do that I'm not giving none of the class. And then that way they can be looking at you, be like, how you do that? And, I was trying to hype him up and pull up his self-esteem. Now I knew that I was only there for the summer. And at that point, because I had that information, now I knew how to deal with that particular kid to help him gain a confidence and to help him get the tools that he needed to get on task, right? And everything happened exactly the way I said. I taught him some things, and then I would always, every time I would come in, I would teach him something different outside of the class. And of course, I took a little extra time with him so that he can kind of be on task with the class and he wouldn't feel left out, right? So this was the deep part. I went to the teacher and I called myself talking to them about the boy. And I was like, yeah, I'm just calling Marcus. I don't know. I can't remember the kid's name. It's like, Marcus, he had a bad day today. He started crying. And how about the teacher automatically said, I said, did you know he can't read? No, the teacher said, yeah. Why? Because he can't read? Like in the way the teacher said it, it was like, yeah, we already know that. Like, wow. Like, okay, well, what y'all gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? So I shared that story as an example to what baggage can look like coming all the way from your youth. You are a 4th grader. You cannot read for whatever reason. Rather, you're not getting the proper help from home. Maybe your parents can't read, right? And they sending you to school hoping that you can do better than them, right? And then you going to school and the teachers are mocking you because you can't read. And they are whole adults that you are looking up to help you to learn. But they mocking you. They laughing at you. So what kind of scars do you think that kid grew up with? What kind of baggage do you think he's been carrying along until, I don't know what the kid is doing now. Oh, well, he's a whole man now because that was some years ago. Yet I don't know what this kid had to endure after that, right? Once I left. And there are not, what I've learned, and I was talking to one of my sisters about this, is there's not a lot of people like us. It's not a lot of people that will acknowledge something and not judge you and instead try to fill that gap and try to help you and help you to see things from a different light or a different perception, right? Just like this show. That's why I'm here. I'm here to show you a different perspective. And today just happens to be the trash bag that the dog bust open. I think that Spirit wanted me to use that analogy to lighten up the topic. And if you've been listening to the show, you will realize that each show is different. Each show it may be on topic the same, but the mood is different. And I just come on whatever mood. And it's not like if you hear me and I'm just like real relaxed, I'm probably sitting on my bed or I'm probably sitting in the chair. Like now I'm real relaxed. I'm sitting in a comfortable place doing the podcast. That's why I like doing audio. Okay. I'm giving y'all my secret. Yet, if you hear me and I'm hype, I'm probably in my office doing the show with all the lights on and things of that nature. There's never a sad day that I come on here to do the podcast. It might be more comfortable, And I want to just also touch on, some people say the universe or spirit, because I don't want anybody coming on the show because they may be a religious person and they feel like, oh, she's talking about this religion or that religion. I'm going to talk about all religion because I love all religion. That's one. I know I got off, but I'm going to get back on. Yet, oh, wow, okay, Spirit. Yep, this is baggage too. Ooh. So let's move forward with this. So I'm going to talk about all religions whenever the topic comes up or whenever it just happens to come out, right? Because I love all religions because we all bleed the same, okay? We all have a skeleton. We all have boogies up our nose. I don't know. Spirit, you funny today. We all have boogies up our nose, right? We all, it's just, we may look different, yet we're all internally created the same, right? Some may not be able to walk. Some may not be able to hear, be deaf or whatever. The bottom line is we all internally have majority of the same organs and we all bleed the same. Somebody's blood might be darker than the other, but it's blood. Okay. So Spirit just was saying, as I was saying, topic wise, I'm getting off topic. It was like, no, you're not. Because people carry baggage when it comes to religion. Perfect example. Okay, I grew up in a Baptist church, right? With my grandma, she took us to church all the time. God rest her soul. And I love the fact that she did that for us because she showed us that there is a higher source, than us. Individually, that there is a creator, that there is someone that we can call on when we in our time of need, and somebody that we can talk to even though it's not in the physical form. But I'm here to tell you that it's been many times I've prayed matter of fact, I just had something happen on Friday that I prayed and I spoke out and I was like, yo, if you hear me, give me a sign about this situation or whatever. And when I say the phone rang and the person on the other line, it was connected to the situation, I was like, oh my God. I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised because, God just be showing up for his sister right now. But I say all of that to say, I grew up in that church. And then as I got older, you become a teenager and some of us get away from the church. We get into the world. Well, not all of us, some of us. Okay. So if you're one of those people that were so perfect, no, not me, ADionne. Okay. Kudos to you. Yet some of us will start getting out and going to clubs and going to parties and, get some drinks, maybe smoke some weed or whatever. Yet I've done that when I was younger. I was drinking, I smoked some weed. That's about as far as it went for me. And I was able to stop myself. And I do truly believe, because they say, I don't want to mess it up, bring up a child. If you bring up a child in a certain way, they go astray, they won't come back. That's my version of it, okay? Don't y'all dare. Don't y'all dare try to comment on how I jacked that up. That's my version, okay? But basically it's saying if you raise a child up to be a good person, to be a good human, individual, and they go astray throughout their life because you have embedded those seeds in them, they're going to always come back to that, right? They're going to always come back to knowing like, you know what, this is not right. I was raised better than this. And we have some people that wasn't raised at all, right? So when you look at religion, and because we grow up in different households will carry a certain religion from generation to generation to generation, right? And what I find is that because that happens, nobody questions, well, why are we this or why are we going here? Because that was instilled in you as a child, right? So then now, if you try to go astray from that and you have one of them real religious families, most likely they're going to shun you. They're going to be like, oh, you're not in this family no more. We don't know you. You should be, you know what I mean? You're evil. You're going to hell. And all this craziness, right? All because you decided that you want to take a different path. Not even that you want to take a different path, but you just want to explore on your own. You want to learn about life for yourself. You want to go outside the box and color outside the lines. You know what I mean? You're just curious. You want to know, like, okay, if this is, what it's supposed to be, then yeah, I'm going to be it. Yet, if I'm just supposed to be free, I'm going to be free. Me personally, I'm non-denominational. But y'all going to always hear me talk about spirit. Because I know that's my source. I know that's how I wake up. I know that's who created me. Yet, just me, I'm just not a religious person because religion comes with rules, right? And I feel like God just created us individually for a reason to go out here and do what we're assigned to do and whatever our purpose is. Right now, my purpose is this, talking to you, sharing insight from, I'm not even going to say my perspective. I'm say spirit's perspective because I'm telling y'all, I really don't be knowing what I'm saying. I just be talking, right? I move out the way. As they say, I decrease. I always pray before I get on. I decrease so you can increase. Speak through me, whatever the person needs to hear in the time that they need to hear it, and how they need to hear it for that individual. So even though this is the same message, somebody could have just caught on to what I just said about religion, right? So finishing up with that is something that you can carry with you. That is something that can bother you. That is something that can haunt you. Some people, like, you can wind up, meeting somebody of a different religion that your family was hating on their religion. And now you don't want to, they can be the perfect person for you. And now you don't want to share them with the family because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't take you to my family because, they don't like your religion, right? So now you over there in a whole relationship in secret. Now, what if y'all want to get married? Now y'all go get married and now the family don't want to come and all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's baggage. That's baggage, right? Yet that is their baggage. That's not your baggage. So that's the baggage that you got to just, instead of letting the dog come and sniff it out, you got to just go to the trash can, take the trash bag, open it up and dump it. Because it's not your baggage. It's their baggage. That's the way they want to think. And it's not disrespectful. Because again, you were born as an individual, which means that you have individual path. You have an individual path that you must walk, right? Yes, you can stay connected to your family. Yes, you have your friends and all of this stuff. Yet at the end of the day, I always say it's you and you. So you got to decide what feels good for you, right? You have to decide that for yourself. What makes you happy inside? And it might not be no religion. Long as you know it's a higher source, yet you might be an atheist. Hey, I can't judge you. Maybe it's because you just haven't had the experience that you need to have to believe that there is a higher source or higher creator. Does that make you a bad person? No. That just make you, maybe unaware. Maybe you are aware. Maybe you had bad experiences with your family being in religion, and that's what turned you off, and now you're an atheist. You get what I'm saying? That's baggage. That baggage maybe affected your opinion on that is there really a God and things of that nature because of what you have been shown. This is a deep conversation. I didn't even know it's going to get this deep. Because I'm sitting here as I'm listening to what's coming out, like, yeah, that's true. People, as you become an adult, a lot of times you base your opinions on what has happened to you as you were growing up. What your aunties, uncles, mother showed you, whether it was good or bad, right? And I always say bad is not bad. Bad's more so lessons. It's more intel. It's more data for you to know, like, okay, I don't like the way that is. I don't like the way that looks. I don't like what happened from that, right? That's data for you to know that's not for me, right? This is what life is about. It is about you collecting data and intel for yourself to see how it feels on you, to see how you feel internally about whatever it is, right? So if you was bullied as a kid in school, this is what just came to me. If you was bullied as a kid, most likely you're not going to speak up for yourself the way another person would, because your self-esteem might be, kind of broken down because of that. That is a form of rejection, because if you were bullying, other kids were laughing at you, you could feel like, I'm not good enough. I don't belong. All of this stuff. No, bullies, they are bullying you because they want to take the focus off of them. That's what a bully is. When somebody is bullying somebody in any type of way, and bullying don't have to always come from like a physical thing. It could come from a verbal thing. It could come from a mental thing. It could come from somebody making you feel bad about yourself when you was feeling so good, and now all of a sudden you feeling bad, and they trying to point out things, and like, that's bullying. Like, this cyberbully. I feel so sorry. No, I'm not going to say I feel so sorry, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am a 70s baby and I didn't have to deal with the social media thing, because my heart goes out to this younger generation that is dealing with social media, because when you talk about the bullying, and they tape whole fights on, and I used to fight, and I'm like, dang, my fight could have been on YouTube. Yeah, I would have not been embarrassed. Okay. Anyway, that is a form of bullying, because now that whole video, the fight video, is on YouTube, and they got to go to school and face all these kids. If they didn't win the fight, right? They got to face all of these kids and feel all of that energy coming from the other kids, laughing at them or whatever. And if they don't have the right type of guardianship at home, the right type of parents at home that can help them deal with that energy, they can hold that in and they can carry it forward. And now they're not willing to open up more as an adult to people, or they're not, like it affects you in so many different ways. So many different ways. So this is what this topic is about, is leave the baggage behind you. Like, let's make a pact that starting today on March 1st, OMG, this is my birthday month, March 1st, 2026. I want you to write out all your baggage, and at the bottom, dated at the top, March 1st, 2026. I want you to write, I release all of my baggage today. It was never mine to carry. That is not who I am. That is a part of my experience. And I learned from that experience, and then fill in the blank with whatever you have learned from the experiences of feeling like, whatever happened from the topics I talked about, or even, your own topics, whatever you come up with, because all of my topics are always examples, whatever comes out. So after you write that down, I want you to sign it and date it. And I want you to fold it up, put it in a envelope, date the envelope, and I want you to go outside, find something like a bowl or something, and burn it. Burn it in a bowl. Release it. Release it. And anytime those thoughts come up that is trash, and it's baggage, and it's trash and it's baggage if it makes you feel bad, if it makes you feel nauseous to your stomach, something you did, you might have did when you was young, somebody you was with when you was young that you like, ugh, trust me, I got one of those. I might have a couple. But you just release it. Release it. Because it's not serving you, right? Is it serving you? Like, ask yourself, seriously, is any type of thoughts that make you sick to your stomach, or make you think badly of yourself, or make you shrink yourself, make you not speak up for yourself, make you feel less than, is that good? It's not good. Which means that's baggage. That's trash. That's not who you are. That may be the perception of other people thinking who you are. And if at one point in your life you were moving, you let it affect you so much that you started moving like you was trash. You started just acting out the way people called you. Because that's what happens too. Some people, if something happens or whatever, and everybody starts talking about them, she's a whore and this and any of it, then they'll start acting that way and start doing those type of things. And then they'll get to a point that maybe they meet somebody that's good, and they decide to change their ways or have a baby or whatever. And they just decide to change their ways. And then they run into somebody that they haven't seen in years that knew their past person, knew who they was in their past life and that season of their life, and start trying to talk about who they were. Like, oh, you still doing blah, blah, blah. Or, start trying to come at them sideways like that. Well, there is your opportunity to correct them and not explain to them, yet just say, hey, that was a part of my past. I'm no longer that person, and keep it moving. Cut the conversation and be gone. Don't even, I know you. Yeah, you lying. You, all of this stuff. Be gone. Matter of fact, I'm just giving you that. Yet, if it was me though, I'd be like, oh, how you doing? Oh, all right. I get on you. That's me. I don't got time for the buffoonery. All right. Because we all have experienced different things in our lives. And some of those things, because we were young and we were, especially if we was drunk or whatever like that, it's like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Right? Yet that's baggage. Let it go. That's not who you are. That's who you were in that moment. Listen to the words I'm saying. In the moment. A moment is a short time in life. That's what a moment means, right? So in that moment, that's who you were. So let it go. And if you were that person in this moment, before you heard, as you're listening to the podcast, well, maybe it's time to make some changes in your life. Maybe Spirit brought it to you to give you confirmation and clarity of what you are allowed to let go of. And maybe that's it, right? So it's 40 minutes in. In the show, in case you're new to the show, I like to I know you may be like, well, damn, she was just talking about the dog. Now she talking about religion. Now she talking about school. Like, that's how the conversation flow. Like I said, it's a raw talk show, yet it just is for us to look at life in a different way and get the data, take the intel, and see how it can help you. See the results you can get out of it if you're open to really hear the words and really let it land where it needs to land for you. Because we're all individuals. And even though this is one message, trust and believe me, everybody's in a different perception within their life. They look at life from a different perspective, from a different lens. So therefore, everybody is most likely going to receive this message in a different way. And that's it. So my prayer is always that you receive it in a way you need to receive it, in a way that it makes you feel better and get more hope in life and, all good things. So with that being said, I'm going to do a card pull. And this is an offer, and I'm talking about my business for the next couple of weeks, okay? Because I ain't been nowhere to be talking about nobody else's. And I'm still thinking about how I want to do that, because I am working on some new platforms that I'm going to be on. And so, yeah, I'm just working on how I want to format things. So with that being said, I'm going to do pull a card right now. And this one is taken from my new deck. And guess what, y'all? The decks are available for sale. My first 3 decks. I'll put the link in the description so that y'all can see if this is something that you want for yourself. They are called Conversa cards. Conversa is short for conversation. So it's not tarot or oracle or nothing like that. It's more so, for me, spirit guided stuff to me. And they are cards that will allow you to have a conversation with yourself. They'll ask a question or put a suggestion and have you to think for yourself, like, wow, how do I feel about this for me? Right? So last week I did Love Knows the Self. This week I'm pulling a card from my deck. It's called Healing with a Side of Giggles. It's the couples edition, and it's the relationship in a box. So I do have a singles edition I'm working on for this, but for some reason I feel like I needed to get the couples edition out first, because I'm always talking to the individual and I want to really be here for the couples as well. So this card says, what is one thing you secretly love about me, but don't say it enough? So, in other words, what is the one thing that you love about your partner and you don't say enough if you in a relationship? Or how about this? If you single, what is the one thing that you love about yourself that you don't give yourself kudos enough? This is the pull for today. So What is the one thing you secretly love about your partner or yourself that you don't say enough or you don't acknowledge enough? Hey, you don't acknowledge enough. Sometimes if we have baggage, we can hold back on sharing with our partner, with your partner or with yourself, something that you really, really admire about that person, because maybe you may think that the person is going to, I don't know, take it in a way where they can take you for granted, or maybe they might not receive it as well. Or maybe you just one of them, if it's a man, maybe you just this macho man that you just like, I'm too cool for that. Like, I didn't have my share. I'm too cool to share my feelings. You know what I mean? Maybe you're a woman that you don't want to be vulnerable. Or a man, you don't want to be vulnerable because you don't know what comes with that. Because maybe you opened up your heart before to someone and they trampled all over it. That is baggage. That is baggage. And I say that to say it's sad because there are a lot of couples that have so much baggage individually. So now imagine that same man and it's you and it's your boo. And y'all both got y'all trash bags. Y'all both got your trash bags of baggage. And because you got your trash bags of baggage, and because you was open before and you really, open your heart up to other people before, you don't want that trash bag to bust open because you decided to dump it, let it go, and be free from it and be free to this person and open them up and open yourself up to them. You get what I'm saying? So many people do this. They'll see other couples and other couples because, something went wrong in their relationship. They'll vow to themselves, oh, I'm never going to be vulnerable. I'm never going to let this person, know how much I love them, or I'm never going to give this much kudos to that person, or all because they saw somebody else's relationship go south, go down, because their friend might have shared something with them, or family member might have shared something with them, or either they saw it in real time, right? And they saw that a person was real nice and real, caring, and then they saw the partner just trample all over it and use that to their advantage to take advantage of them. And so because they viewed that, they saw that, it became their baggage. And they can miss out on an opportunity. You can miss out on an opportunity to have someone in your life that truly, truly loves you for you. All because you are carrying baggage. So what I want you to do, if you're in a relationship right now, I want you to be bold, to be strong, to stand tall. And I want you to go right to your partner whenever you finish listening to this podcast, whenever you see them, and I want you to just grab their hands, look them in their eyes, and tell them what it is that you secretly love about them that you don't say enough. And even if you told them that before, I want you this time to hold their hands and look them in their eyes. Do it in a different way. Make it a different gesture. Make a big thing out of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Cook them some dinner or breakfast or whatever, and just do something special, because see, people get together and they become these couples, and then, after a while they get so used to each other that they start to get in a certain comfort zone. They stop doing the little special things that they used to do to get the person. They just stop. The resume is done. Your 90 days is over. You got the job. So now that you got the job, you slacking on the job. I don't know why all this stuff is coming out. It's not me. Don't put it on me. I'm just the messenger, okay? But it's some peoples out there that need to hear this. They need to hear this. And at the end of this card, it says, have a light-hearted laugh together. Bottom of the card, that's what it says. So these cards are available for sale. And because this is the first run, I just need you to allow like a good 25 days for it to come to you. Because once the first batch, anything that's the first run, it might take a little longer or whatever like that. Yet, I want you to become a Legacy Vanguard founder. That's what you will be when you buy any one of these decks. I have 3 decks available, and I'll pull a card for the next one, maybe next podcast, okay? I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to go look in the link, the description. So, I hope that you got a lot out of this show today. Spirit just tapped on so many different angles about baggage. And I know if you're like me, I'm still visualizing the doggone man with the suit running with the trash bag and the dog busting it open and neighbors all seeing it. And I guess that's good. That's good. That's a good thing, because what it'll do is it will remind you anytime you start acting from baggage. Maybe that's the reminder you need to visualize so that you can stop carrying baggage and letting it go. Leaving that baggage behind you. It's not serving you. So why are you still carrying it? Let it go. Bust it open. Pour it in the trash can. Let it go. Okay? And I say this mentally. All right? Envision that mentally. Now, if you got some real trash at home, maybe it's time for you to clean out your home too. Hey, maybe that's a message for somebody. Leave the baggage behind, meaning like clean out your home of all the stuff that you've been carrying into your home that's connected to somebody or to some situation or to another house you lived in that wasn't so great. Let all that stuff go, because whether you realize it or not, furniture has energy too, carries energy too. Stuff, clothes, all of that stuff carries energy. I mean, you think about it. If you wore something and you went out and it was the worst day of your life and that's still in your closet, every time you look at that outfit, you may start thinking about that worst day of your life. That's energy. That's shouldn't be in your closet, right? So that's baggage. Throw it out. Give it to Goodwill. Sell it, whatever. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So yeah, we had a lot of talk about a lot of trash today. And I really, really, really pray and hope that you guys really seriously leave the baggage behind you. Let it go. You can't grow until you let it go. Ooh, I'm gonna say that again. You can't grow until you let it go. So let it go. You're not getting medals to carry baggage. You get trophies for that shit. Let it go. It's not doing nothing. Is it making you any money? Let it go. Okay? So with all that being said, now I'm going to do a little light meditation. Let the baggage go meditation mindset. I'm just going to do a mindset meditation. Nothing deep, okay? So what I want you to do, if you've been listening to the show, find a comfortable place. Because if you cleaning while you listening, some people in the gym, whatever. If you in the gym, then hey, there's nothing I can say about that. Get them reps in. But I want you to find a comfortable place. Just have a seat for a moment. Just sit down for a moment. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your stomach. And let it out slowly through your mouth. Another deep breath in through your stomach. and let it out slowly through your mouth. Let your shoulders relax. Just let everything go. Close your eyes and let everything go. And I want you to envision that thing that has been really bothering you. Or maybe those things. Or maybe those people. Or that person. The words that they said to you. The actions that they took that didn't make you feel so good. I want you to envision that being, condense that person down or that thing down and put it in the trash bag. Get the trash bag out. I want you to start putting stuff in the trash bag. Any thought that doesn't make you feel good, put it in the trash bag. Put it in this trash bag. Anything, any argument you might have had, put those words, the word that pierced your heart, put it in the trash bag. And when you're done putting everything in the trash bag, I want you to visualize yourself taking that trash bag outside. And even if you don't have a trash can outside, visualize one. That trash bag is heavy, I know. So drag it along if you can't carry it. Envision yourself in front of the trash can. Open that bag up. And if it's too heavy, get up underneath that bag and lift it up. And empty all that trash in that trash can. Empty it all in that trash can. And once that last drop gets in the trash can, put the trash bag in the trash bag, in the trash can. Put the lid on the trash can. And I want you to say in your mind, in your visual, I release all my baggage today. I want you to where you are right now. Slowly open your eyes and give yourself a big hug. One of those hugs, those tight grandmama hugs. And I want you to rock yourself back and forth. Give yourself the tightest hug. And tell yourself, I'm proud of you. Say your name like me. I'm proud of you, ADionne. Because I know that wasn't easy to do. But you did it. You were open to let it go. So, from this day forward, I want you to catch yourself. Anytime you start feeling some type of way because a thought has came up or somebody's words all of a sudden started repeating in your ear, I want you to shift your thinking if anything comes up and start instantly thinking about something funny that somebody said to you. Or if you got to turn on a YouTube video and watch a funny cat video or a baby video, something funny to shift your thinking. And this is you exercising your thought, your muscle, your memory muscle, to replace all of those negative thoughts with something positive, with something that makes you smile, with something that makes you happy, right? You have to have something to replace it with, as if you don't, it will continue to play in your mind. So you figure out what's that thing that you can replace any type of negative thoughts that come up, any type of trash and baggage that comes up in your mind. What is it that you can replace it with? Okay? This has been a crazy show. I ain't gonna say crazy, but Spirit be having jokes. That's all I got to say. If y'all can hear what I be hearing sometimes in my head. Sometimes I don't say certain things because I be like, you know what? So I'm going to sign off right now. But make sure that y'all go ahead and check out, if you got something out of that card pull, make sure you go ahead and check out the link in the description and check out the cards and become a Legacy Vanguard founder. All right. This show has been long. Oh, wow. I went in. All right. Until next week, this is ADionne, your dream pusher. I was about to say your loan officer. I used to be a loan officer. Your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, and from some real bullshit. And you are tuned into Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know, it's extraordinary folk doing the damn thing the best way we can. And until next show, I love you guys. Peace.
The Chronicles of Livin.
We can be whatever we dream.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Chronicles of Livin podcast, where you find only the highest vibrations. Remember, you are extraordinary. And if you're pursuing your dreams, we're proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live.
Something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it.
Stay updated with ADionne by visiting chroniclesoflivin.com or stay connected through social media by following @Chronicles of Livin. Until next time, your dream pusher, ADionne.